Hey y'all, welcome to Wrestling Color Podcast. It's your girl Stephanie. Hope you all are hanging in there. I'm gonna go ahead and dive into this because I would be remiss if I did not. This is gonna be a serious episode. Well, all my episodes are serious. This is gonna be a serious episode, and it's something that needs to be talked about, dived into. But I'm going to be honest about the shit and what I ain't gonna do. So make sure, if you're not interested in the topic that I'm about to talk about, go ahead, log off or whatever, click out, go listen to my other videos or do whatever you need to do. But do not get my comments and say nothing stupid, because I will cuss your ass out. Number two, I think self-care and conversation amongst the black folks is necessary. I think it's great, and this is what my podcast is for. I do it because ain't nobody else gonna do it in terms of representation. And as long as I do a podcast, I will always speak out on the lack of representation, ethnicity, racism, and bullying in the world of wrestling. That's what I'm doing here. Okay? With that being said, we're going to talk about the events that's happening and how these wrestlers have either rose to the occasion or completely fell flat and deflated and disgusted me in the whole fucking process. Activism in wrestling. There you go. Activism in wrestling. Do you want your wrestlers speaking out on social issues? Can you, once again, separate art from the artist? Can you do it? Can you do it? You know what? It's hard for me. It's hard for me because the way Chris Jericho cut up on Twitter, on Instagram, I couldn't watch Dynamite, this past Dynamite, and him on my screen. I couldn't do it. I couldn't fucking do it. I could not. Black Lives Matter. Give you a quick little piece of history for those that don't know, and I will never explain this again. Black Lives Matter came about after the Ferguson riots, uprising, when Mike Brown, however you think the situation went, he was killed by a police officer. Okay? That police officer was exonerated, and that upset Ferguson, Missouri. Black Lives Matter came out of Ferguson. And to give you a little piece of tidbit, every activist out of the Black Lives Matter from Ferguson has died. Every one of them are dead. Kid you not. Since 2014, I believe, every black person has to take the time to explain what Black Lives Matter means to other ethnicities. Since then, you had Latinos Lives Matter, Cop Lives Matter, Cat Lives Matter, gerbils, anything you want to put in front of Lives Matter, that's what has become of that Black Lives Matter tag. Had they said Black Lives is lit, it would have been Latino Lives is lit, Cat Lives is lit, Cop Lives is lit. You will have a response to whatever the war cry is coming from black people in the United States of America, specifically. Okay? I don't know how many times I've seen people explain ad nauseum that Black lives does not mean all lives. But Black lives right now is going to be centered because there's an epidemic of historical proportions going on to a small group of people in Missouri. If you go and look at the population of Missouri, there's probably about, let's say, it ain't enough black people in Missouri to have a whole entire police department on top of them. So where you disproportionately arresting the black people, and Missouri, the state's predominantly white. Okay? This is every single corner of the United States. This isn't nothing new to black people. It just seems like, oh, now I give a fuck today. I don't know what made things different. Since Mike Brown, Philando Castile, Sandra Bland, now it's Brianna, who got shot. You got the one woman got shot through the window. Since Mike Brown, Tamir Rice, like it's been numerous of times that could have been a flashpoint. At any point could have been a flashpoint. But George Floyd was the flashpoint, and he is the focal point. He is the ember that started the forest fire, right? No one said the man was a martyr. No one said the man was Martin Luther King. No one said that. But what he symbolizes at this point is the ember that started the forest fire, that started what we are considering a revolution. That is being televised, by the way. Okay? George Floyd, the story goes, he had a counterfeit $20 bill. And he went to the store, came out, and on film, we were subjected to seeing the life squeezed out of this man. He laid for 8 minutes, over 8 minutes, yelling for his mom. I can't breathe, please get off of me. From a different angle, it was 5 police officers laying on this man back from the neck to the toes. Okay? And then we see this. And then the news does what the news does, and we'll play it over and over and over and over again, just like 9/11. Over and over, to the point of traumatization, to the point where you can't get no sleep, you can't eat, you fucking just all in a frazzle. Okay? This man died because a police officer had his knee in his neck, and he essentially choked him to death over a $20 bill that ended up being a real dollar bill. All you have to do is get that why them people ain't had that money thing where if they feel like your bill's fake, they just write across it and it's going to tell them if it's real or not. What the fuck is going on there? So that was the flashpoint. There was a whole lot of shit going on. Mind you, we're in the middle of a pandemic. Now, I saw a lot of things that was very conducive to American racism. When the pandemic began, I'm going to talk about Ohio specifically. The governor said mandatory face masks. It's a public health issue. Then all of a sudden, across the country, at the stoking of your president of the United States, open up the country. Open up the country. You had white people out there on their state houses, specific to their state, with guns, having their own protest. No police officers was fucking nobody up, was running people over with cars. No auxiliary cops on horses. None of this was going on. And then within a week's time, from the mandatory face mask ordinance, it went to, all right, just wear it if you want. Okay? Now you go some places people are wearing it. I wear mine. A majority of people are not wearing it. Coronavirus is very real. So you got all this going on. This man gets murdered. It's a flashpoint. All hell breaks loose. Again, we're in the midst of anger. People breaking up stuff. People want to be heard. Black people crying out. Once a fucking again, black people are crying out. Do you think this is the first time black people are crying out? No, we had Ferguson. And since then, we had a march for Tamir Rice. We had a march for Sandra Bland. We had a march for Philando Castile. Why was Philando Castile not the flashpoint? I don't know. I don't know. There's footage of that too. I don't know. I can't answer that. The woman got shot during a no-knock raid. The husband was trying to protect his home because he don't know the fuck's coming in. So he's trying to protect his home. These no-knock raid cops shooting up the whole fucking place, shot the woman 8 times. You had the one woman get shot through the damn window. I can't even say their names because I can sit here and tell you what happened to the issue and you gonna know their names. Since then, and prior to, I'm 39 years old. I've known police violence since the day I've been walking on this earth. And my mama's knows violence in America. She grew up during the civil rights movement. Martin Luther King, Malcolm X got killed. Medgar Evers got killed. Now we going into her mama, Medgar Evers, because my mother was born 52. So now we going in. Her mama's got to deal with that. And then we could go further behind that. And people who got murdered and killed and maimed then when the Ku Klux Klan was super active and running the damn show. A town in Alabama to close because the Ku Klux Klan said they was coming to straighten out them damn so-called protesters. So you got the protesting, and then you got what's called an agent provocateur. I don't know why y'all all of a sudden forgot that what comes with civil unrest, you will have people who will dive down like vultures and eat the carcass. So places are getting looted. Stuff is getting fucked up. And it ain't just black people. It's all kinds of people down there cutting up and getting stuff. But of course, black people got to take the brunt of everything because that's our position in society. We were put here to build up America, and we are made to eat the failure. What I'm talking about, I've been talking about this on Twitter for the last, 4 years since people started noticing what's going on and what's going on with our elected officials, because you all keep talking about, well, vote, as if it's just that fucking simple. Didn't Stacey Abrams sit here and explain to you the disenfranchisement of voters in Florida from Ron DeSantis and that whole situation? But here you are, go vote like it's just that damn simple. I'm in a Republican state. Ohio has 86 counties. 14 of them are Democratic. You do the math. Black Americans in a population of 340 make up what, about 40 million? And y'all, for whatever reason, we are the ones who all of the weight of the damn election is on our shoulders every 4 fucking years. Every year. Vote. And then you vote, and then look what the fuck happens. Look at your elected officials. Look. The borough president of the Bronx County on a hot mic talking about, I don't care about this election. Voted that man in since 1988. I'm from New York. I was born in the Bronx. And the Bronx I was born in, the South Bronx, please. Didn't nobody say, do y'all want to be bistro? Didn't nobody give a fuck about New York when I grew up in New York. And we voted all the time for Charles Rangel, all of them sucked all the life out the community and left. Vote. My congresswoman Joyce Beatty, she got sprayed in the fucking eyes down to the protest. I ain't mad about that. That's the first time I've seen a congressman actually get out there and get in the thick of things. And they sprayed her, 70 years old, sprayed her in the eyes. Y'all saw the police provoke everybody there. And people still talking about, well, if you just do what you got to do, Now there's a police case where this white guy was executed right in the middle of the hotel. Y'all bringing that into the fray. Any other time, just do what you got to do. Now, and then somebody's like, well, what about this? Well, what the fuck? You want the black people to march for everybody? We're not the mules of this country when it comes to social issues. We're just the ones who got to deal with the shit, and we tired of dealing with it. We tired of dealing with it. I run into a cop. I have to ask a cop question. They talking to me like, why the fuck you even talking to me? I've had my issue when it was with a cop. And then that, it ain't pleasant, especially when they already, what you doing here? I made a moving violation. I just want to get home. Well, calm down. Oh, so you finna escalate the shit. Are you kidding? So, it's been about 12, 13 days of protest. Y'all made sure to point out peaceful. I don't know what the fuck it is about, don't listen, black folks don't own shit. Let me just say that now. We don't own shit in our own neighborhoods, don't own shit outside the neighborhood. Okay? So while you worried about a brick and mortar store that's probably not even going to be there in the next 2 to 3 years any fucking way because of Corona, please realize somebody got their goddamn neck squeezed for no reason. None that I could think of. So now we got all that out the way. Here enters wrestling. Here enters the, what I call escape. Or what you call escape, right? You got Chris Jericho putting All Lives Matter. You got people in the comments either like, you know, stoking the flames, antagonizing the fuck out of people. You know, he ain't getting what it is because he, I guess, Canadian. I don't fucking know. I saw Randy Orton explain that he didn't know what was going on, but he got educated. Then you got Jackson Riker, the Forgotten Sons, cutting all the way the fuck up. He just let all the way loose. I don't know where the Forgotten Sons is going to go from here because they done. They better be the Forgotten Sons, a duo. Because the other two guys is like, damn. They even got the dude say he took a picture at Soul Man, which is a old movie where the white guy dressed up as a black guy to get affirmative action higher. Stereotypical. Dustin Rhodes put out something that was, you know, really cool. He got it. Brandy Rose got dragged from here to eternity because she just fucking tone deaf. But I did a whole video on what's up. I asked her what's up with the representation. She said some dumb shit and started talking about pizza. So somebody said, well, what the hell is going on? I'm like, you the only black woman in this space. You gonna speak on it? She said you don't know what her life is and what. It was just like, girl. But then she go on Trinity Fatu on Naomi's Instagram, and she writing this whole soliloquy about how she's black. Like, what are you doing? What the fuck are you doing? I prefer you say, listen, I'm gonna need more education because I don't want to say the wrong thing. I prefer you do that than to say something be dumb. Because my whole thing is, I personally don't want to hear famous people and their takes on anything. Famous people tend to be disconnected. They tend to be out of society for more than 10 to 15 years. I don't want to hear it. But then you have those that have been doing it. Like Bianca Belair is always deep into her blackness and her culture. I expect that from her. But then when you got Zelina Vega, she trying to, I don't know what the fuck she was trying to do. Then all of a sudden it became, well, you can't expect me to say this and do what you want me to do. Like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? All black wrestling fans period, are looking for solidarity and a safe space with people that they enjoy looking at. And I'm sorry, you're not going to find it in wrestling. And if you do find it, it's going to be sparingly, few and far in between. Okay? And that's just what it is. They had Blackout, you know, Blackout Tuesday. And then, unfortunately, that fucked up the whole, you know, Black Lives Matter tag. The point was to post black-owned businesses and things and promote other things and information about Black Lives Matter, but that didn't pan out properly. We had the Usos say, and I'm gonna read this. He says, "Real talk. I never speak on these kind of situations, let alone post it. I've had my run-ins with the police, some good, most bad. My experience. But out of all this hate and racism we live in, this made me think of my kids. In America, my kids will be considered black. When they are men, they will be facing the same struggle. As a father, uncle is scared the fuck out of me." And Trinity went on to say she tired of what's happening to our people. Let's talk about the Usos. And I'm going to use the Usos as a great example of ethnicity and race in the United States. The Usos are Samoan. Pacific Islanders are considered white by race. So the Usos, Jimmy and Jay, they have, you know, black women. You know, their spouses are black. Even Roman Reigns. So they have biracial children, black and Samoan. Kind of like The Rock. You see The Rock's tone? So these people are beige, right? Okay. But if they run into the police, they will be classified as white people because the American justice system goes by skin tone. That's it. It's as simple as that. It ain't deep. It ain't elaborate. If you're black and you're visibly dark skinned or have melanin, you will go in the black category. If you're more of a fair, paler kind of color, you will be put into the white category. It's really as simple as that. There are white Latinos, there's black Latinos. There's super duper light skinned blacks that will be considered white. That's a whole nother conversation right there. So when Jay got arrested last year, maybe a year ago, and people pull up his arrest record, it said white. Everybody's like, what? He ain't black. He's Samoan. And they are considered Pacific Islanders. They're considered white by race. His ethnicity is Samoan. Point blank, period. There you go. See how simple that is? Why is that hard? So now he looks at his kids who are a little bit darker than him, and he knows that if they have an issue with the law, the cops are going to say, oh, look at them two Samoan kids. No, they're going to see some brownish, dark skinish looking people. We just going to call them black and wear their ass out. That's all. But my thing is, why do you have to wait till it affects you in that type of manner? Do you wait till you get AIDS to care about AIDS? Do you wait till you develop cancer to care about cancer? That's what it seems like America. If I don't experience it, then it ain't happening. That's what it's really feeling like. So now here we are. Some people get it, some don't. And for the life of me, somebody was like, well, I think CM Punk was upset at AJ Styles for not saying something to Correlation to Black Lives Matter. I said, please, do not. I don't want AJ Styles saying anything. AJ is from Georgia, Gainesville, I believe. I'm pretty sure, and I can be confident and say, AJ probably has the same views as The Undertaker. Because you all noticed all the shit he was wearing in his last ride documentary. That's their views. And the First Amendment has been taken all out of context and misconstrued and twisted to the point where you can say anything the fuck you want without consequence because y'all think y'all covered under the First Amendment Constitution. So I don't want AJ Styles speaking on Black Lives. I do not, because I like AJ Styles, and I would just be so fucking saddened if he decided to say some shit and don't understand what the fuck he's saying, don't understand the situation, and I can't deal with it. Chris Jericho. And I see Chris Jericho donated something to something and was like, you know, I'm trying to understand. I don't understand what the fuck y'all. If you could pull out a Martin Luther King quote, you already know what the issue is. Because the first thing y'all do when blacks are on edge is you pull out Martin Luther King. Well, Martin Luther King said that you got to smile instead of frown. And then you forget the statement where Martin Luther King said, well, if I'm going to smile and frown, you're going to do right by me. Y'all miss all of that other shit. Stop acting like you don't know what the fuck the problem is. Just because you don't experience does not mean it ain't happening. This is a black issue. This police brutality, I mean, somebody was on Twitter like, well, more white people are killed by police than black people. So why the fuck aren't you upset? If more white people are killed by police than black people, shouldn't white people be upset too? Or you don't mind because those people deserve to die? Those are different kind of white people? Like, I don't understand. I don't understand the argument, the logic. So I would just, you know, it wouldn't be right for me not to speak on this. And I didn't know how to jump into it. All you do is jump into it. And people who want to hear, they're going to hear. People who don't want to hear, don't want to hear. At this point in 2020, when This is where we're at, and Black Lives Matter has been around since about 2014, 15, and you still talking about, well, all lives matter because everybody got a life, and the life, if you still going through all of that, you don't want to understand, and I'm not explaining the shit to you no more. Period. I have my own self-care and my own brains I need to protect, and I'm not about to be sitting here trying to explain simple ass shit. Because if you can sit here and quote Paul, what's his name, Paul Revere, give me liberty and give me death, when he did that ride and said the British are coming, the British are coming. If you like that, then you should like Black Lives fucking Matter too. Liberty for some is not liberty for all. Black people have fought in every single war in this country. Black people built this damn country on their skin, back, teeth, blood, hair, you name it, is absorbed into this soil. Every industry has been touched by black people in America. Okay? We going on to 401 fucking years of black people being on this continent and catching hell ever damn since. You could talk about the racial wealth gap. You could talk about medical disparities among race, housing, education. Any industry you want to talk about, you will see the systemic part of the issue. It's called systemic because it's a system, just like the body. If one system in your body stops working, all the other systems will malfunction and you will not be able to live. That's it. It has nothing to do with working hard. It has nothing to do with what's wrong with these black people. There's nothing wrong with us. These are situations that we have been put in on purpose, and you all are comfortable in the position that you have been placed in, and you are not willing to switch places with my black ass. Be honest about it. That's it. Be honest about it. That's the only difference between what happened 60 years ago, because the folks that was born in the 60s are going into their 60s now, and the 50s are going into their 60s. Back then, it was clear what white folks thought of black people. It wasn't no confusion. Now you got this covert, undercover, backhanded, slick ass shit. We don't know who's who, what's what. You knew the Klan man was the sheriff of the police department. You already knew. Now you don't know who the hell. Some of them come out, don't give a fuck. But a lot of them keeps it quiet. And then they get into high places and wreak havoc and continue to hinder people they simply just don't like. So to round this up, the killers of George Floyd, the main was hit with a second-degree murder charge. Understand. And basically, you know, you can look at the degrees. The reason why second degree was chose is because it is more provable. Murder one. The thing about murder one is you have to prove that the person woke up in the morning and said, I'm finna kill me a black person. You have to prove without a reasonable doubt that that is the thought that was in that person's mind in the first degree murder, and then add to evidence or whatever you have. There are people who premeditate, go through the mix and the motions, and go after who they want to murder. There are people who take years and build into what they want to do. So we got this, the 4 other officers are, you know, talking, and 2 of the officers were rookies. They weren't even on the damn force for a week. And look. So you got this man who has prior cases, him and his Asian partner, prior cases of police brutality, training a new generation of police officers. That is why it's called systemic and institutionalized. There you go. I don't know what else to say to you. Black Lives Matter. That's it. My life matters just like your life matters, and it's always mattered. And if you can sit here and say you don't see color and everybody's the same and whatever, if you all about that, then you should be about reparations as well. How about that? That's what the conversation needs to be moved to. Because I can give you proof of what my family has lost dealing with all this systemic shit. I am a descendant of American chattel slavery right here on this continent. Okay? And we are the only group of people that have not been repaired, and the situation has not been addressed. You took care of the Japanese, you taking care of the Jews, and that wasn't even on American soil. Okay? The Native Americans, the 5 recognized civilized tribes. The Cherokee are billionaires sitting on land. Meanwhile, you look at those numbers for those Native Americans and them reservations. Devastation. If unemployment for the general population that's measured toward white people is right now at since the pandemic 16.3, unemployment for black Americans is always going to be higher than that. It was already 16% before the pandemic hit. While he was saying, hey y'all, look, unemployment is at 8.2, we was already at 16. Didn't nobody give a fuck? Didn't nobody give a fuck? Serena Williams told y'all she was going to die on the goddamn table giving birth, because didn't nobody want to listen to her because she black and black people lie and whatever fucking bias you got. Didn't nobody give a fuck? People can't get housing. People couldn't get no small business loans because you ain't got rapport with the bank, or the bank don't want to fuck with you because all black people got bad credit. My credit is fucking A1. What are you talking about? I'm going to say this. I don't expect more from nobody than what they're going to give me. Wrestlers are human too, actors, all of that. Y'all done went up for John Boyega, that African man from Britain who played in Star Wars. What he's displayed in London with all of that verbose crying and carrying on. Prior to that, the man was on Twitter disparaging black Americans. Okay? Now all of a sudden, he took the bullhorn, got out in front, and put on a performance of his life and made sure to say, well, I might not have a job. If you're going to preface what you finna say with that, I already know what you're talking about. I don't want black people to fall into performative activism. And I'm really looking at what's going on, and that looks like to be where we're going. There's no direction. It's too many hands in the pot. People should, you let the electric slide with the cops and people getting engaged and shit and all kinds of stuff going on. I don't know what's going to happen. Right now it's June and people still protesting. What's going to happen in July? I'm going to mark my word right here. We're going to be right back here asking for the same simple shit, which is humanity. In 6 to 8 months, guaranteed. You got it right here, and I'm not, and that's one thing I don't want to be like, well, I told you so. I don't want to see nobody else get killed. But even while all this is going on, they done kicked the kids' ass in Atlanta. They jamming, shooting people in the face with bullets. All of it's being filmed, and still, the man put Black Lives Matter on the mall in Washington. Everyone seems to be so excited. Meanwhile, she's doing this in your face and giving the cops $18.5 million more. The fuck is the point? Sometimes just step away. Step away, black folks. It's too much. Step away. Do what you can do. Step away. You can turn the station. You don't have to sit here and watch and listen to this nonstop. You don't have to do it. Turn the station. Go have a cocktail. Go sit on the porch. Call up somebody. Talk shit. Giggle. Roast. Do whatever you need to do to separate yourself from what is normal to us, which is trauma, violence, and gaslighting to the point where you think you crazy and maybe you ain't see what you saw. No, I don't look to actors, actresses, wrestlers, whatever genre, to speak on social issues. The only people I think that need to be speaking on social issues is the people who are experiencing the social issue in real time. That's it. I'm going to leave it right there, y'all. Black Lives Matter. That's it. I mean, it's not enough to say. I'm not explaining why Black Lives Matter. You're not going to sit here and tell me all lives matter. If you telling me that, you're antagonizing me and you willfully ignorant. You're not going to tell me, well, black on black crime when white on white crime is way worse and just as bad, and we should be upset about both. You're not going to say, well, white people get killed but more by the cops. You definitely should be upset if more white people are being murdered by cops without due process. I'm just beyond floored by that whole point. Don't get it. That would become a class issue. Right? Alright, y'all. I hope this was therapeutic. I hope it, opened your mind and help you figure some things out. I'm here with you. Y'all know over here, Wrestling Color, I don't play that. I don't give a fuck. I don't play that shit. I'm here for my people. I'm here for my people before anything else. I'm black. I'm a woman. I'm a mother. And I'm educated as fuck. And with more education comes more stress because you don't understand how people are so fucking stupid. This is Wrestling Color Podcast. Join in the conversation. Make sure you subscribe and just breathe, y'all. Breathe. Go get you something to read, have a cocktail, step away. I did. That's why you didn't hear from me 2 weeks. I had to step away. I had to breathe, had to go play Animal Crossing, have a cocktail, do what I need to do. Please, take care of yourself. If you're going to protest, please wear a face mask. I cannot stress this to you guys. I work at the hospital. Please wear a face mask. Corona is real. Corona is real. If you're going to bring your children to the march, please hold your kids close to you. Keep them to you. Because if they still putting curfews out, which is a racist act in itself, I'll talk about that on my other podcast. Can't talk about that here. If they still trying to do curfews and all that, and these cops feel once the 8 o'clock hour hit, we finna run you down like trash in the street, make sure your children are safe. Be mindful, be smart. If you want to educate, educate. If you feel like the education you're trying to give to the person who's not getting it, stop. It is not your duty to educate. Racism is not the duty of black people to end. We did not start it. It won't end with us. That is something we need to understand. It's a collective effort. But at the end of the day, the powers that be, legislation, policy is the only way to reverse the damage that has been done. Race-based policy. That's it. And reparations. Point blank and the period. And no one can argue with me about that. Nobody. Nobody. I love y'all. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. I want y'all to be safe. Come on back. If you don't want to listen to this, I'm going to make sure to label this just what it is. Black Lives Matter. If you ain't for this, don't listen to it. Go to the next one. And when you're ready to have the conversation, press play. Alright, y'all. Till next time. Be safe out there. Wear your face mask. Practice self-care. And I love y'all. Deuces.